the card shows to the trade nights, from vintage grails to modern heat. This is the podcast where collectors come together. Hosted by Nick, Brock, and Dan from Pal Sports Cards, and Devin from Roth, Razzes, and Repacks. Welcome to Between the Slabs. Between the Between the Slabs. Between the Slabs.
A little bit different, huh?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? How we doing?
Pretty
So
official, boys.
Yeah, now we're official. You know, I didn't do my homework, and our old one was named the same one as somebody else who has like 11 million followers or something like that. So I figured we're not beating that one out, so we might as well change the name. So little rebrand here. We came up with name Between the Slabs, a sports card podcast. So I'm Nick. You got Dan down there from Pal Sports Cards, and Devin from Roth, Razzes, and Repacks on Facebook. So, guys, right now we are live on YouTube and Instagram. So, see how this goes. You know, going to try this new platform, see everything. So, what's going on, guys?
Not much. Busy weekend. A little bit here. I'm getting into the World Cup. It's been fun to watch. But just came off of a wedding. I'm excited for Devin's wedding. I can't wait for that one. Sorry, Ashley's wedding. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Ashley's
Nothing-
wedding.
so
A little more than a month ago. 48 days.
yeah, there you go.
48, I think.
Ooh.
There you go.
48 days. So you have to ask permission for everything.
Yep. 48 days, and I'll be retiring from this podcast, gentlemen.
Pretty much be like, no, you have plans tonight, Devin.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
we'll have to call her to ask her if you're allowed to do it. That's usually the way it goes with stuff. So
Gonna have to get permission to get me off my ball and chain.
that's right. So I was thinking, guys, tonight, you know, an easy first one. You know, I'm tired of talking about PSA and grading and everything like that, and I'm sure you guys are too. So, you know, we were both doing shows last weekend. We had a show in Southeast PA. Devin was down at Brotherly Love. So, Devin, hey, how did that go?
It was great. Another good selling show. Brotherly Love always does great in finding buyers to come in. A lot of repackers, a lot of whatnotters. So great selling show. We mopped up, moved some good inventory, picked up some new pieces, made some room. So, how was your guys' show?
Overall, I think Dan can, tell me if he thinks different. We probably had our biggest crowd we ever had.
Yeah.
We were, give or take, probably about 100 more than at the Reading show that we had. So, in a lot of Pokemon. It just seemed like everybody coming through there, they were either a repacker or, family with their kids looking for Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah. And it was, and they were, 2-3 deep at some tables at the Pokemon stuff. And it was just, it was cool seeing that many. It seems like, I don't want to say new people, but new to us people, especially with the Pokemon stuff that a year ago we wouldn't have got at a show because we just didn't have those vendors there. Now I think we do. I mean, we're getting hammered by vendors, Pokemon vendors who want to be at shows right now. I don't know how there is that many going around, but there is. It just seems like that it's just modern slabs, Pokemon, and everything else just seems to be drowned out. I mean, Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely broke through even more than it already has. I feel like over the last 60 days, I don't know if there was a specific reason why, but there's just been a huge uptick in it. And again, I'm not sure if there's just kind of maybe like a push this time of year, the summer, like kids are, getting out into it more, or people are going through their collections and everything like that. So, but it has definitely broke through, to be a big part of the show industry. And I don't think it's that part is going away anytime soon.
We did have one down moment at our show, and I think it needs to be said. We have our one guy who comes to everything we do. We call him Shoebox. Um, sh- we buy a lot from Shoebox. Dan usually makes deals with him out in the parking lot. Um, Dan shot him down this time.
It was tough.
Poor guy brought all this good stuff, and Dan said,
Not this time.
"Not this time." I mean, that one hurt. That one hurt. So,
It was tough. I mean, and then what made it worse was I reached out to him this week to just kind of like check up and see how he was doing, and his response was,
can't wait to hear this.
uh, he was like, his response was, and I quote, "Really wish you would have bought those cards. They've already gone up in value."
That is
So,
awesome.
so I was like, okay. I was like, thanks. I appreciate it. I literally was asking him if he wanted to get lunch. He kind of blew off that part, and he
Probably
was just like, you
probably don't
know,
have lunch money.
yeah, man.
Uh,
So,
that's great. They
but
already
but that
they
that
already went
to
up in value, and you were going to try to offer them less for.
that relationship though is like we had talked about some of the stuff that we really like about the hobby, and like that relationship and friendship is like something that has been built through the hobby. But there was another thing that I like, and it's because I've been a collector my whole life. I mean, I've collected bobbleheads, like different things, jerseys, cards. There seems to be like once you get in this fraternity of vendors, they really look out for each other. And I'll use a perfect example. So I'm working on a showcase of mine, where I want to get the entire 2008 Phillies roster in a showcase. Like it doesn't have to be PSA, it doesn't have to be graded, like, but it would be nice to be graded and auto or whatever. And I'm actually missing, like, surprisingly, a couple of the heavy hitters like Worth and Howard, and two vendors at our show that I've talked to about this have been like following up with me and like sending me stuff throughout the last week or two of like, hey, I saw this, it's a little high. But I thought of you, like, let me know if this is like in your price range. Maybe I can bring to the next show. Like, they know I'm trying to do it for my PC, and I think like they're looking out for me. And that's just something that I feel like has been a big part of the hobby that I've enjoyed, is like the camaraderie.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, there's guys who, like, we have definitely at our shows. If somebody comes up to sell us something and we're kind of unsure about it, we can go to those guys
Yeah,
and they'll give us an honest opinion. They'll be like, stay away from it. No, or
yeah,
go to this. And they're not trying. They could, I mean, honestly, they could be like, hey, yeah, no, stay away from it. And then they cut your legs out and buy it from the guy 10 minutes later, but they don't. They
yeah,
almost look for like, hey, this is what I would do. I mean, that is an awesome part, especially when you're starting out, because our first few shows, we had no idea what we were doing.
yeah,
And guys would be like, they look at it, the person might went to their table 5 minutes ago and they show up to you and they just look over at you and be like,
yeah,
stay away from it, type thing. And so that's huge. I mean, I know there's guys that when we go to like the Devin show and stuff, they come to us and we're like, yeah, I don't really know what this is. Take it to that guy, and they'll take it down to Devin, or they'll take it to to Corliss or somebody like that, and they'll be they're up front and they let you know exactly what it is. That's the best part about all of this.
yeah.
Um, so now that we're in the good parts, here's what everybody wants to hear. What's your number one thing? And we'll start with Devin. Put him on the spot. What's the number one thing that you dislike right now about this hobby?
So I did take a few notes.
Cool.
Did jot a few things, but Honestly, I think my number one dislike about the hobby, uh, and it can be kind of good. We're on social media, but I think the social media influence that has brought onto the card game um, seems like anymore at shows there's a lot of not a whole lot of originality. Seems like everybody's doing the same thing, just copying off what they're seeing on videos. Um, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Like we said, I like getting to find what I have in common with people. I like being able to find what their teams are. Um, Anymore, most of the shows, it's what percentage are you buying at? What percentage are you
Hmm.
selling at? Everybody's so stuck on a percentage or on a number, and it's like people can't even think for themselves to like, hey, do I like this card? Is it something that I want to collect? Is it something that I think will look cool in my showcase to resell? Whatever the case may be. It just seems like there's nobody learns how to think for themselves anymore. Everything's about like, oh, what's online? What's this person collecting? What's this
Yep.
person like?
And I think a lot of that is the younger generation, the kids, and my kid's one of them. He just sees numbers in his head. They're not. He's not a true collector. Like there's a few guys like he likes Saquon Barkley, and he'll. It doesn't matter what the number is on that stuff. He'll buy it. But like other stuff, he knows in his head. Like he'll go up there and be like, "All right, they have it listed at this. I need to get it down to 80% because he's going to try to take it to the next table and flip it." Um, and so I don't know if like kids my son's age, in that 12, 13, 14 range, there's he's not a true collector. I don't know if there are any. Because even like really good stuff he had his hands on, I always tell people, I'm like, hey, sell it to him for what you think you should. Don't cut him a break because he's 13, because he says he'll keep it now, but 2 weeks from now, that thing's gone. If he finds something else he would want. Um, so I don't. That's a big part of this right now is, and it's tough because they come in. It's like the same script they're all reading. You know, the kids are trying to knock you dead. Oh, can I get to this? Can I get to this? Um, the last show we did down in Denver, we had a kid. He was coming up and he was trying to buy it like 70%, and I was like, well, no, I'm not, I'm gonna hold on that. But then he tries selling to me and he wants 110%. I'm like, but hey, you can't buy it 70 and sell it. I mean, buy it one and sell it 110. That's not the way this works. Um, so I think they're all scripted. And like I said, my kids same exact way. That's no matter what you tell them, it's like they don't want to hear that right now. So it's almost like to to me, I was never a set collector, but I collect certain years and people and stuff like that. I don't know if there really is that anymore with the younger kids. With the older guys even older than me, they're coming in with notebooks and checking stuff off, and they're looking for just certain things. Dan, do you have any thought on that?
Yeah, so there's an interesting avenue that I have not liked so far in the year and a half we've been running these shows. I feel like a big part of the customers at times, and it goes in waves, is individuals who wanted to make a quick buck and bought or spent like thousands on cards and thought that they were smarter than the average bear. And next thing you know, they're coming to your table, and it almost kind of just has this like desperation feel to it of like, you really got to take this. Like you really like, I just like, I've in the last 6 months, I've come across like 8 to 10 of those people. And like, it's the same type of players. It's the same type of product where like, to me, it's like, that's not someone who is like collecting and kind of like, and you can kind of just tell by their vibe and like the whole way they like try and almost get like a little bully ball with it of like, really, you're not gonna, like. And to me, I that's what I worry about with the hobby, when it becomes like less of a hobby and more of like, hey, I made this $6,000 investment, that my like on Trey Young or some other guys. And if I don't move it for 7K, then I'm really in trouble. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? And sometimes that seeps out through the shows, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen that, but,
Yeah, no
um,
doubt.
you know,
Yeah,
I
no
think it
doubt
goes
about
back.
it.
I think it goes back to social media too. I think it's given a false illusions of like, oh, this you can do this to make a quick buck, and it's like you might be able to, but there's a lot of work that goes into it too. If you want to resell cards, it's not just well, if I can buy something at 80%, sell it for 100. Well, yeah, anybody can do that,
yeah.
but not any vendor's just gonna sell you anything for 80%. It's like there's more to it. Like if a card hasn't sold for a year or whatever reason, if the market's up and down, but if you're looking at just one singular card and saying, well, I want to offer you 80% of that and want to sell it to the next guy for 100%, it's just not like that. That's a false illusion I think too many people fall into. And it's like they come to shows and yeah, they almost get nasty. It's like they expect you to either sell your cards for nothing or buy their cards for, you know, overpriced because they just think they're entitled to that because they've seen it on a YouTube video.
And I think a lot of them they're in over their head.
Yeah.
Like Dan and I are in a position right now. If all of our cards fell out the back of the truck on the way home and we lost everything, we would be okay. We're not losing our house over it. There are other people who this is almost like a gambling addiction to them. They, as soon as they come through that door, if they're looking to sell for one reason because they want money to spend that day. No one's cashing out and walking back out the door. They're coming in to sell stuff they have so they can buy more. Um, and you can tell some of those guys who they are every time they come in. And they do. They get a little attitude sometimes because, well, I have $100 in this or $500 in this, and you're only offering me 250. Yeah, because right now that's all it's worth. You can always tell them, I suggest you hold it and just wait and see if it rebounds a little bit. Football season, if it's football card season's coming up again, and then they get almost nasty with you because I don't want to hold it today.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're in over your head, and I think that's a lot of whatnot. Because there you can, and even maybe eBay, because you just put stuff on a credit card, and you can get underwater really quick. And it's not like when we go to a show live and you have $500 in your hand, you only have $500 to spend. You can't overspend that. But if you have a credit card with a $10,000 limit and you're just sitting in bed at night watching live auctions, and we all know that stuff, most of it goes for way above what it's worth. Way above. And then you figure in all your shipping and all that kind of stuff on top of it, you can get in trouble really fast.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really understand that.
The Wall Street Journal did an article, I think it was about a week or two ago, and then ESPN actually wrote one as well, where they talked about this hobby. Was it just another layer of gambling for adults? Is it just another layer of almost kind of like buying a box and playing a scratch off, are kind of the same things of like that dopamine that people chase of like, hey, like, and I mean, I've done it. We've all done it.
Oh yeah.
I'll continue to do it,
So will I.
So for me, I think it's just kind of like, that's why I'm glad that we've kind of, I feel like we found our lane at Pals where like we love running the shows. Yes, we buy some stuff to sell here and there, but it's stuff that we kind of always agree like, oh, like that's just a really cool card. That's just, and then if it's something where we think we can move it, it goes from there. But these dads usually look the same. They come in with like a black coffee, just shorts and flip flops on, and they're just kind of look a hoodie of like, just like, hey, I need to make this deal fast. And, you know, but that's part of the industry now, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
And there's nothing wrong with, like we're associated with Devin who does Razzes on his page. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that if you can keep yourself in check.
yeah.
And
Yep.
that's the thing. You have to be able to keep. It's like going to a casino. My buddies, when we used to go to casinos a lot, before kids and all that, they laugh at me because I'd only take like $300 with me in cash, and they'd be like, "That's all you're bringing," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's all I can afford to lose right now." And that's how I always base things on. Like, I'll do Razzes, I'll buy claim sales, I'll do all that stuff only on what I have. You know,
Yeah.
that's why I like using like Venmo and PayPal for that, because I load money that I can spend in there, and then once that goes, then I'm done for the week or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's just budgeting 101. But a lot of people, and it's not just people that come to shows, a lot of people out there just they don't think about, they look at credit cards as just, I can just spend it, it's a free line.
Yeah.
Don't realize, hey, you got to pay that back, at some point. And I think people in card shows get over their heads with, even if it's a $50 card, if they bought it for 100 and it's only worth 50 right now, they're underwater on it. And we have a lot of cards we're underwater on. A boatload. Andrew Painter. Oh,
Yeah.
how much of him did we buy last year, Dan? I mean,
No, a lot. I mean,
he was our guy. We were like, yo, we're gonna hit the jackpot on this dude. This will be our Jack
it's still
Caglione.
it's still early. It's still early.
It's
You know?
tough when you bet with your heart, not your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like,
tough.
this will be the one. So I mean, we have a bunch of different autos and color blade, all this stuff. And it's just like, I told Brock this week, I was like, put it in the hold box. We're not
Yeah.
even putting it out. I don't want to dump it, because
Yeah.
again, he can make a comeback. But that was like our first all-in investment guy. We're like,
Yeah.
let's we'll hit on this one. Everybody thinks they're going to hit.
Yeah.
99% of you won't hit it. That's the way
Yeah.
it usually works out with stuff. So, what's another thing you guys don't like about the, you know, pretty much about the hobby right now in general?
I think right now a lot of the people who are doing the shows or running the shops, um, because people love this hobby so much and it's so fun for people of all ages, they kind of like forget about how much hard work goes into running the shows and running those shops and like running the Raz stuff that you do, Devin. And everyone just kind of has opinions on things. And I think sometimes it's when you peel back the onion, you realize like, wow, like you run a 70 table, 80 table show. I mean, you're putting in weeks of work leading up to it, and you're not, it's not like you're leaving your day job for that, or you're not leaving your day job for running a good, Raz page or anything like that. I think that people just have, I think they have a little bit misconception of the shows and the shops and some of the other stuff where they just see it as like money grabs, and it really could be, I mean, they couldn't be more wrong about that, in my opinion. And I have the numbers to show you that they couldn't be more wrong about that. But
I know exactly why you're saying that. It was your boy who didn't want to pay $5 to get in right when the show started last week,
yeah,
right? Yeah. Who's this
yeah,
benefit? Who it benefits us, you know. Well,
yeah.
the table should pay for it. Okay, and everything else is free.
Yeah.
Just go to a flea
And
market,
that's
buddy.
and that's the stuff like, and that's just a part of business. Like people don't
Mhm.
see like you up at 2 a.m. like finishing the floor plan, or they don't see like me driving to Central Jersey to pick up tables. Like they don't see that. They don't see Devin, like putting the extra time in to build his brand on his page. They just think like, oh, these guys. And I think that's it. I'm going to use the word. I hate to say it. It's disrespectful on their part. Like I would never walk up to someone's event and kind of just be like, "What's this towards?" You know what I mean? Like that's just disrespectful. But again, people are going to have their opinions, and you know, it's just a shame. But yeah, that's my rant for the night. So that's pretty much all I got left.
Cool. And so, real quick here before Devin starts talking again, I'll flash this up there. This is if you want to join Roth's Razzes, you can go to his Facebook page. Just search Roth Razzes. I can't speak right now. And Repacks. So right there's the link for it. Go on there, join it up. He has a bunch of Razzes going on right now, and it's good stuff on there. A lot of the ones Devin does is you go on there and you get to pick your winner. You know, if you win the Raz, he has like 5 different cards up there. You pick which one you want. So you're not always just going for one card. So it's awesome. So you get your choice of a lot of things there. So Devin, anything else that kind of, if you were starting out in this, you wished it wasn't that way?
Just like I said, I think everything we've talked about kind of goes back to like social media. Even like what Dan just said, like I think so many times like people watch videos and it's like, oh yeah, like it's never too late. Like anybody can do it, and it's like you get into a false illusion of like anybody can do it. Well, like not everybody has like the same like brain. Not everybody functions the same way. Not everybody can wake up at 2 in the morning and like do certain tasks. Like not saying that you have to, but there's a lot of hard work that's put in no matter what you're doing, whether you're running a show, whether you're running a page, whether you're running a store, just doing shows. Like there's the setup, the travel,
Yep.
like all of us have expenses that we do, and all of us pay to be set up there or do whatever we're doing. The amount of hard work, effort, time put in, like there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this stuff. It's no joke. Like I work 40 hours a week. I probably do cards more than that. Like when it comes down to it, I probably put more time into cards than my real job, but like I take it very seriously. It's something that like I approach with the utmost seriousness every day. Like
Don't let your real job see this clip.
Yeah, exactly.
listen, man, when it comes down to it, like I think life's about doing what you enjoy.
Yeah,
I know I
I
sure
agree.
am right now, and I'd hope that everybody does. Like everybody that's in cards, like I hope they're in it because they enjoy it and like can enjoy life because of it. Around new friends, family, like my fiance, our relationship's built around cards at times. She's with me at every show. We do dinner nights afterwards. Like we've had a
Nice.
lot of stories, met a lot of new friends through the hobby and stuff like that. You guys, like
Yep.
a lot of people that we
Yep,
can't
totally
replace in
agree.
our lives. So there's a lot of negative, but there's a lot of good to this hobby too. So
Yeah, I totally agree. With trying to get on here. There is, come on, show me that. What I want to see. All right. Yeah, I mean the biggest thing for me is the relationship you build with everybody. I mean, it's like a trust factor. Um, there's guys who we do shows with who, like I think I said a little bit before, I just totally trust what they say. It's like they're not going to steer you wrong. And like our first show we held was Devin came down to it. It was I think we were even just sitting next to him, and we had like a mutual guy that Devin worked with, who I used to work with. So that was like the connection piece there. But it's just once you build that, I mean, I don't feel like anybody's stabbing me in the back, and that's huge. Where if I have a question, I can call them and ask them about this. Hey, we got this. What do we do here? And Devin's always been good with us, and they can tell us. Dan must have got a phone call, so he just went offline
busy
there.
man, busy
Yeah.
man.
Oh, Dan, but he's busy, so that's the way it's just that it works there. So while he's doing that, I'll read another advertisement here that we have, and then we'll go to our last segment of the show, which is our mailbag. Dan loves the mailbag. When we started doing Card Lounge last year, and we were reading mailbag, Dan used to get pretty heated at times. So we'll see if we can
Everybody loves a
fire him.
good mail day.
Yeah, we'll see if we can fire him up a little bit. So here's one for you. If you post to eBay, try this out. It's called cardluma.com. If you use code PALSPORTS30, you get 30% off your first 3 months on cardluma.com. It's a great site. It's AI driven. It'll repost your stuff for you. You can do auctions, fixed price. all your eBay dashboard is right on Card Luma, so you don't have to go to your dashboard, and like, everything is integrated over. It's a really good site, and you can start it for free without a credit card. I do like personally, I do the 1,000 scans a month plan. I think it costs me $10 a month, and I do any Pokemon stuff that we list to eBay. I don't know anything about Pokemon. I'll tell you that right up front. I have no clue what half of it is because a lot of it's even in Japanese. I scan it, throw it through Card Luma. Within under a minute, it has, if I put 100 card lot in there, it has them all identified. And I just click a button, send it right to eBay, done. It's the fastest way you can list cards. It's a good site. So I don't know where Dan is. So we'll still wait for him again, see if he texted me. If not, we'll bail on him here. So, I mean, it's an exciting time coming up here. A few weeks, 3 weeks, I think we have the All-Star game. It's in Philly. So, I'm looking forward to Home Run Derby. I think that Citizens Bank Park is going to be a bandbox. I mean, it's just going to be shot after shot. I want to see how many hit the Ashburn Alley and put up in the roof deck bleachers and things like that. I know Harper. They said Harper's in it, right?
I think Harper and Schwarber are both in it.
That'll be awesome if Schwarber's in it.
I think the two hometown boys will both be in it. We'll actually be down. We got tickets at the convention center for the one night. They're doing I don't know. I think it's the first night of the draft. They're doing like a whole event like weekend down there. We got tickets through Capital One. So excited for that, for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I last went to the Home Run Derby. I think it was like 96. It was down at the old vet. I think Barry Bonds won it. It was like Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire were the finalists. And
that was the year I was born, Nick.
Yeah, no, man. I was in high school then. I was in high school. So Dan just texted me. He said he's not going to be able to get back on. Something wrong with his phone. We can cut it off. I think it was a good first episode we had here, Between the Slabs. We're going to try to do this a little more consistent. It's hard with the summer and stuff, but if you are watching us on YouTube, whatever, Instagram, Spotify, just smash that like button, follow, subscribe, do whatever. That way we can get our new content out to you. And if you have any questions or you have any comments, leave them on there and we'll try to answer them for you. So just want to thank everybody for coming on tonight.
Heck yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yep. See you guys later. Keep collecting.